Welcome, welcome to the Energy of Your Business weekly call. So excited to be here with you today. Happy Monday for those of you that are watching. Go ahead and post in the comments where you're watching from. I love to see this because we get people from all over the world, and it's so much fun. And if you see something that says "Let StreamYard allow access," please go ahead and let them have access because then I can see your name. And if that doesn't show up for you and I'm not seeing your name, then just let me go ahead and put this in here. Just go ahead and put your name first. Say, this is Trisha watching from Florida, that kind of thing. All right. Give this a minute. Super excited. Oh my gosh, it feels like spring here. It's been beautiful, a little bit colder than I like, but it's been beautiful. All the ducks are showing up and the creek and the pond. It's just beautiful. Awesome. Okay, okay. So welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about why imperfect action is the way to build your aligned business. Okay. So I used to feel like I had to have everything perfect. I call myself, a recovering perfectionist because it was like the thing that kept me from creating this successful business that I now have. And I wish I knew now back then what I know now, okay? I I kept myself from moving forward all because of perfectionism, and I don't want that for you. I want to make sure that you are moving forward because what your soul's calling you to do, because it's your soul's mission, it's your passion. And anytime we see things like perfectionism among many other things, sometimes it's a just a route to something even deeper, okay? So I used to, like I said before, I used to feel like I had to have everything perfect, everything mapped out ahead of me. Like videos, and all of them had to be edited and perfect before I put them out there. A perfect website. I think if you've followed me for a while, you know that I talk about my 3-year website design creation. And it was like, and by the time you get done doing a website and having it perfect after that much time, you just want to start over. And because you've changed so much, you just want to start over again and make it completely different. So don't waste your time on a website, okay? It's good to have something, but it's not necessary, all right? I had to have a membership portal that was top notch. I remember one of my very first launches called Breaking Biz Blocks. I think it was down in 2013. Um, I had a successful launch. I think I did like at that time, this was a lot of money, like 10K over the weekend. And I was like super excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I sold 10K over a weekend. And I was like jacked. Wow. What I did then was like, "Oh, I have to have it perfect. So now I'm gonna make myself this membership site, and I'm gonna do it all myself, and I'm gonna have it perfect." And it took me like 4 months to get that perfect, and by the time I got to the end of that 4-month period and had it up, I had lost my momentum. I wasn't able to sign on any new people. What I should have done was kept going. Like, okay, we got this. Now I'm going to do it again in 3 weeks. I'm going to do it again in 6 weeks. I'm going to do it again in 8 weeks, and just keep that momentum going and keeping building that membership. But didn't work that way. And it was just, it really, later on when I realized it, I felt really like bad. I felt like I'd sabotaged myself in a big way. So that's something I don't want you to do. So all this perfectionism did was slow me down by seriously years, guys. Okay. And it's just a way of sabotaging yourself. So you can call it upper limit blocks, or maybe a part of you is scared with what success may bring you, or maybe how it will change you. There's all sorts of beliefs that can come from success, and we don't look at that usually. Consciously, we're thinking, "Oh my gosh, no! Of course, I want success. I want to be making a gazillion dollars a year. I'd be so happy." And la la la. But the truth is, there's a part of you that maybe has been told that rich people are evil, or they lose sight of who they are, or they change as a person and nobody likes them, or you feel like maybe you'll lose all your friends, or maybe you have this deep down fear that you'll have a lot of responsibility that you don't want, that people will start to rely on you and be knocking on your door. And maybe a part of you, the subconscious part, even though consciously you're okay with that, your subconscious part is going, no way, Jose, I'm not doing this. This is like something that deep down is pulling you back, and you just don't even know it. And so it continues to sabotage you, okay? So the biggest thing here is instead of perfectionism is learning and improving, okay? Everything you created will change again and again as you dial into more of your true soul's essence of what you offer, okay? And it could also change as you change. So maybe you start here with working and helping women regain health using herbs and yoga or Tai Chi or whatever that is for you. But then 2 years from now, you realize that you want to work mainly with emotional side of energy or trauma side of energy. And you don't want to use the physical side as much or vice versa. Or maybe you are using one or the other completely all physical or all emotional. And you realize, hey, this is like a combination act here we need to bring in. So you've basically branded yourself for 2 years in one way, but that's okay. It's time to, this is what this is all about. You're like molding it. It's like molding yourself into who you were meant to be. Okay. And that's a process. It takes some time. So your higher self will guide you to the next step when it's time. And that's something to remember. Okay. For now, what your job is to get your offer out there, all right, and be seen by your soulmate clients so they can actually see you. Okay. Remember, I talked in the past about how your soulmate clients were born before you guys were even born. You had this contract with them that you were going to be the one to help them. If they can't see you, they can't find you to get the help they need. So that is your job, is to get out there and be seen and actually have something in your hands that can help them. And if you have something right now in your hands and you're expanding on it here and you're building it, make it more transformational and juicy, that's all you need. That's it. So here are five I don't know if there's five, maybe there's only three. Here are some tips to squashing perfectionism, okay? So, number one is I want you to think about this, keep it simple, all right? I see people all the time getting out of order or stepping way ahead, getting the cart way ahead of the horse, and they just spin their wheels, all right? So, I was talking to one of my clients earlier, and the stress that comes from having to have everything in place before you move forward is too much for anyone, okay? We're talking about, and I've done it. This is something that I have a lot of experience in. I've built courses, spent months and months and months building it, having all the videos pre-recorded and done and all the text and all the PDFs and everything all there and having it perfect. And really, I could have just had the outline and launched that sucker and built it as I went. It would have been way less stress. So that's why I wanted to share that with you again, okay? And we want to reduce the stress. And again, it probably goes so much deeper than just you wanting it to be perfect, but really a scared part of you that's holding you back, or a belief that's been held for generations, because those sneaky beliefs can be held in your DNA and your cellular memories for hundreds, even thousands of years. All right. That's my zone of genius. I love digging deep into those cellular memories and clearing them out so that then you can make a decision based on what your soul's calling is and not what your fear or any of those other energy blocks are having you thinking making you believe that is your calling. Okay. Sometimes I call it fear disguised as your inner guidance system. We don't want that. Okay. So the thing is, I want you to map your offer out. That's all you need to do is map your offer out. We go over this in my free training, the Energetic Business Blueprint. We actually map it out together doing that training so you can make sure that you have everything lined out in that transformational juicy offer. If you haven't watched that training, it's free for now. It's more like a course. So you want to get it. I'll put the link in the comments below or in the notes below so that you can grab that and catch it, because it'll help motivate you to move forward and getting that just mapped out. Okay. And when I say map, I want you to think about this. We're not being perfect. We're not doing the whole scripts. I mean, bullet points. Okay. Bullet point modules are training. So one is about X, Y, Z. So for instance, for my people, it would be probably start with the first training would be around energy alignment, clearing energy plus blocks, getting grounded, self-care. That's one of the modules. So most of my clients are energetic, are intuitive business coaches, business owners, coaches, and healers. Okay. So that would be one of the first things, since they are in that energy field. When they're working with their people, they realize that energy alignment is the number one thing that's important. Clearing out those energy blocks is in there, as well as staying grounded and protected and self-care. So that would all be in module one. So all you need is a few bullets. What would you train in your first training? Okay. And then in your next module or training two, you'd put maybe you would be around digging into your past, okay? What you've inherited, how it's playing out in your daily life. So how you maybe the second would be how you find those emotions, how you ID them, the beliefs, the patterns, the programming, whatever that is, and then again clear it. So module two would potentially be around that. So if your niche is weight loss, for instance, module two would be looking for why do you have this repeat pattern of tying food to security or tying food to protection. So you could like help them dig up those roots if that were the type of coaching you would do, so that you could clear them out and then give them some action steps in that training too that would be put them on the path for gaining their full healthy body image, for instance, for example. Okay. So just map that sucker out. Don't overthink it. Just let it come forward. Sit down and brainstorm and don't overthink. Just let it flow out from you. And here's what I'm going to say to you right now. When I talk to people like this, what usually happens is that they wake up at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night and all of a sudden they start getting these ideas. So keep a notebook by your bed or your phone so you can write in the notes on there so that you can really start to really allow the subconscious, your highest self, to get into your subconscious and give you those downloads that are needed for you to create this program in a very transformational way. Okay. So the next perfection block is taking a huge goal and try and knock it out of the park all at once. All right. So we've all been there. Like, I want to make 100K in 6 months, or I want to make 100K in a year. That's if you're making 15K in a year and you're jumping that far up, that can really freak parts of yourself out where you run the other direction because it feels like such a lie and it feels so like hard that you just run back and hide and watch Netflix and do more meditation and waiting, whatever that is for you. So I want you to break it down into stages, okay? So if you're trying to reach 100K, all right, break that down into 4 sections. So like quarterly in a year, all right? So that would be 25K. So what kind of program or sessions do you need to offer to reach that? How many of those do you need to sell to get there? When you break it down into 25K, and you have a 5K program, you need to sell 5 in 4 months to reach your goal. Doesn't that feel a lot easier than selling 20? I mean, it just makes you feel like freaky, but it also opens your eyes to, wow, if I'm only selling a $50 session and I want to make 100K, I need to level up here in some way. And so that's where my trainings really come in handy because we're helping you really own your worth and value and really align to those soulmate clients that are waiting to work with you because they're there. No matter what price you're charging, they're there waiting for you, okay? So thinking about how many of those you need to sell to get there. And again, this is part of my training. So please grab it. I'll put that in the notes, the Energetic Business Blueprint. You'll get instant access and it's something that will really help open your eyes. There's a really great workbook in there. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep it as free. So you might want to grab it now, okay? So all this does is makes it easier for your brain to swallow, right? And so you don't have so much resistance from those other parts of you that are scared because you're just breaking it down into small, manageable chunks that you go, whew, okay. If I have to sell 5 in a quarter, that's, 3 months, then if I have to do that, then that's basically 1.5 clients a month, something around that. 1.5 clients. So 2 1 month. And then, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't like 2 a month and then 1 in 1 month. So it doesn't take a lot. It becomes very easy to like go, oh, you'll feel a lightness in your heart. Okay. It just makes it easier to swallow. So the next thing is the overthinker. Are you the overthinker and researcher? Because I know I am, and that's a part of my human design. And I have to really I have to really be mindful of this or it can take over because I love a juicy researching and I really dive deep and I will go on and on and on exhausting myself. It's not even exhausting because I love it so much, but it's so juicy. I'm going to get in there and research and research and research. And there's so many different ways to look at it and different angles to look at it. I love that. So research is great, but overdoing that research, which I've been guilty of, is not. And so that can often feel like you're taking action. When you're doing all this research, you feel like, oh, I'm doing something good. I'm doing something for my business. But in reality, it's just busy work that can be cut down on. Okay. So the known, so know when enough is enough. Okay. And that you can always come back to it later. And most often you do anyway as you grow. So I just want you to pay attention to that. Okay. So plus more research, just think about this. We get, like I just said a second ago, you get all these opinions online or from people from all over the place, and they all vary because everybody else has a different opinion on what you're doing or a different idea or a different viewpoint, right? So you're getting bombarded with a lot of things at once. And yeah, it's great to research, but that can be confusing. It can really squash your own intuitive guidance as well, because you don't know where to stop between what's my intuitive guidance telling me and where did I get this information just from looking around all over me. So all over the place. Okay. So I want you to go within more. Do your research, set yourself, I'm going to spend 2 days doing research, and then I'm going to stop. You have to make yourself, because when you're with this human design and you have this in you, you know it. You're like, I got to keep going. It's like, oh my, I love, like I said, it's juicy. I love a juicy research, but I want you to think about going within more, because that is where your true soul's calling is going to guide you to that really great offer. It's going to guide you to new opportunities and meeting your soulmate clients in such an easier way. You're attracting, because your energy's all in. You're going to be attracting those people that you want in your life. Okay. So I want you to think about, again, intuitive guidance, going within, and talk to your quantum team. Who are those people? Your quantum team, I call them people. They're your team. They're the beings that are there to help you, your higher self, God, source, universe, your angels, whoever that is to you. Call them in, ask for help. Your ancestors. I love asking my ancestors for help. And oftentimes when you ask, it's already in your DNA. It's already there in your subconscious. So it comes to you so easily. But the thing is, you have to ask. And that's where you're going to get a lot of it. So get enough to feel somewhat solid. So when you're researching and you're getting information, you want to feel somewhat solid in it, right? But remember that you aren't going to ever totally arrive at the end destination, ever. You'll always feel like you need more. All right. I know I do. And if you're a natural researcher like me, wow, it's going to be endless. So just know that it's part of your journey, part of what makes life interesting. So take the leap, relax more, and just go with it. Don't be a perfectionism. Don't be a perfectionist and just say, well, I could say, what I could say was, well, I'm just my human design. And this is where a lot of human design, I love human design and I use it often and I'm trained in it, love it. But people take it so literally that they just think, well, I'm a researcher, so I'm going to stay in research forever. No, it's about getting what you need, researching it's really juicy, and then moving forward. All right. Because if you stay in research mode and you never take that inspired action, strategic action mode, those steps, then you're not going to get ahead in your business. Okay. So take your research and test it out. This is your business and it's unique. Okay. So I want you to leave the space for that magic to shine through. And so taking that research, you've got enough. I'm sure many of you are like this. You've got enough. Taking that research and taking that leap of faith so that you can allow that intuitive energy and your own magnetic energy to really step into that magic and shine through. Okay. So stop trying to win all the time and start enjoying the journey. Okay. So you're going to get there whether you want to or not. And here's the deal. You're either going to learn what you need when you try this out. When you get out there and you just start trying things out and just like step out, right? You want to step out and just try, do trial. And I don't even like saying the word error, because I really don't think there are any errors. It's all for a reason, right? So you're either going to learn what you need to learn, right? Or you're going to win. So both of those are great. You're going to set this goal. It's 100K or 200K or a million, whatever that is for you. And you're going to start these trials and you are going to either one, win, or you're going to learn what you need to learn. And then you're going to do it again. And so there you go. That's about that. All right. I want you to think about that. It will make your journey so much more curious and fun. It's exciting. I want you to just have fun with it. Stop stressing about it. What's the worst that could happen? You put something out there. Every person that I work with, I know have special gifts. And I know that they have it in them to be a multiple six-figure business owner. And I love helping them be a part of that. And so if you're in my inner circle, you already know that because I believe in you and I know that you're going to get there and I help you get there, right? But letting go of that stress, simplifying, simplifying. Don't get so far ahead and complicate things where you get stressed out. That's just a part of you sabotaging you, okay? So the next thing is to look at what keeps holding you in perfectionism. That is another key thing. So things like fear of success, family patterns of poverty and struggle. I know that was in my family lineage. The feelings of I'm not valuable or worthy. I mean, how many of you feel that way? Like there's so many other people that are better than you out there. They're doing the same work that you, that how are you ever possibly going to be good enough? Again, that's perfectionism. Okay. Remember, your people are waiting to work with you in particular. It's your job to stand out, okay? All these beliefs and all these feelings and these energetic blocks are things that can be an underlying cause to staying in your perfectionism cycle. And it's time for you to step out of that, okay? So these are the things we go over every week in my Aligned and Limitless program. And that's the beauty of this. Yes. So, yes, taking the strategic aligned action is super important, but it will be so much harder with this other baggage weighing you down. Think about that. You have all these thoughts and this stress. It weighs you down. You feel thick. The energy feels heavy, right? So in our group, we ID and clear these things from your ancestors going back hundreds, even thousands of years, as well as those things that we absorbed from the collective consciousness. So pretty much everywhere, right? Think about COVID. Think about all the fear that was out there. We all felt edgy, right? Even when you turn your TV off, you still felt that energy because it's in the collective, right? So all those things need to be cleared out regularly. And then still, it's not just like I said about meditating and waiting, doing energy work, and then getting rid of those blocks. And then, oh, it's just going to happen magically. A lot starts to come to you, but the universe meets you halfway. You have to be showing that you are serious and committed and that you're showing up in order to meet the universe. All right. And that's inspired, aligned action. Okay. So once you do that, things start clicking more. And that's why every week in my program, we work on these things and it's magic all by itself. And that's why I want you to think about whatever energy work that you're using, whatever practices you have, making sure that you are constantly every day, and it doesn't take more than 5 or 10 minutes. So every day making that commitment to really stand in that energy and that flow so that you can create that life that you want. Everything is so connected as well, guys. So you'll notice that when you start clearing your energy blocks and these beliefs and patterns, you'll notice that your health, your relationships, your finances, all of it shifts as well. And it's beautiful because you can't change one thing without everything else changing. All right. Isn't that beautiful? When I started doing this work, I was working on, you probably heard my story where we hit rock bottom during the 2008 bubble. We had leveraged ourselves buying land, and we all know what happened to land at that point. It dropped half price, and we still had loans. I think we had like $1,000 in our bank account. We had 4 kids, 3 cars. We had, a mortgage. All this stuff. It was scary. And my health went down the tube because I was so stressed out. And I was scared because once you lose your health, your health is your wealth, right? So once I started working, I tried everything, of course, first Western. Of course, we always try the blood work, the Western medicine, all the tests, MRIs, whatever. Nothing, they couldn't find anything. And so I knew it was stress. And stress can start off just with that, and then it can go into something much more serious. And I was in a lot of pain. So when they couldn't help me, I started finding the law of attraction and energy and going deep to the subconscious, to those, like I said, beliefs, patterns, and programming from lifetimes ago. That's when things started to shift with my health. Then what I noticed is that our finances changed. And then I was super excited because then I knew, coming from an entrepreneur family, I knew that I wanted to help others do the same and build their own businesses and build their own magic. And so that's where this is all beautiful. So what do you say? Are you ready to do that for your people? Are you ready to take imperfect action? Let's do this, okay? Let's do this. I'm going to challenge you today to take some imperfect action steps. Even do a live where you don't have to have it perfect, okay? I write my notes a half an hour before I get on here. I just gotta let them come through. Sometimes they're not perfect. Sometimes my dog starts barking. Sometimes I have, things happen or electricity goes out or internet, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're here to serve. You're here to help your people. And that's the important thing. So let's do this. My challenge for you is to step out and do something that's not perfect today. Okay? All right. Okay, guys. And so now it's time for the Energy of Your Business Weekly Oracle Guidance Draw. I know I love this. I love doing this every week. It's so much fun. Um, for those of you that don't have this deck, it's a wonderful deck. And it just helps you take that aligned action so that you know what to do. It's fun. It makes it more fun for you, okay? And you can get this deck on Etsy. It's called The Energy of Your Business. And it's just a lot of fun to really help you kind of tap more deeper into your intuition. So we're going to go ahead and do three. I like to do a 3-card pull. See what this week is going to guide you to do. So as I'm drawing these cards, I want you just to focus on what you want to hear this week for your guidance, all right? What do you want to feel this week for your guidance? And go ahead and pull these decks here. 1, 2, 3. All right. So, the first one, we have connection. So this was all around network and collaborate, create strong connections. These will take you far. Last year, one of my words was connection. And it really was, when you put this out there, it's incredible. So this is for all of you, reach out to some people, make some connections. Maybe you can be a guest expert in their program or course, or maybe you can be in their podcast or in their group. Reach out to people and say, hey, I noticed that you do X, Y, Z. I do that. I do something that's complementary to that. I would love to be a guest in your group. Or you can ask them to be a guest in yours. So just get on a live together on Instagram or on Facebook. It's fun, okay? So connection. Connection, super important. The next one is, you are your brand. You are your brand. Remember that. There's only one unique and spectacular you. Get clear in your message and your brand, okay? So that's being consistent. Who are you? It's like people think, well, I need to work on my brand, and they think of just colors, or they think of images for their website or the fonts. Your brand goes so much deeper. Your brand is you. How do you show up? How do you express yourself? When people hear you and see you, when you hear your voice or what you're saying or the words that you're saying, do they think of you and your work? You know what I mean? So what I like to do is look at how I'm different from anyone else. What makes you different from other people doing the similar work in your field? What makes you different? In fact, if you're in the Shining Mentor Successful Entrepreneurs group, I would love for you to post in there, what makes you different with your work? What makes you so interesting to others? So like, oh my gosh, I need to work with this person. So different and unique. And I want you to think about that. That's your brand. That's part of who you are. Okay. And yes, the colors and the images and the fonts all come in place too. And as you, really start to form, that will change. I mean, I remember when I've had I think, did I have 3 websites? 2 websites. I'm redoing it a little bit right now, just kind of doing a refresh. But I didn't have my first website. The second website was completely different copy. And now I'm doing a refresh with different copy, again, dialing it in more to my ideal client so the message reaches their ears more clearly. All right. That's all about your being you, being uniquely you. All right. For me, it's incorporating energy and alignment with business strategy. Because most of the time I see these business coaches that are hardcore business. They put mindset in there, but they're hardcore business, right? Then I see other ones that say they're business coaches, but more out of alignment. So they're working more on the energy by itself, and they're not really taking a lot of aligned steps, right? So I like to do both. I believe both are needed. I believe that we need to take action in order to really get where we want to go. All right. Inspired action, ones that light you up, because the more lit up you are, the more excited you are, the more the universe feels that excitement and more brings you more of that same like vibration in the form of clients, in the form of ideas and downloads. It's beautiful. All right. So the third one is abundance mindset. Okay. So claim wealth on all levels. There's an unlimited supply. That's why I put the diamond on there. There's an unlimited supply, abundance mindset, wealth mindset, wealth in every areas of your life. Okay. This is where you need to have some real strong perseverance. Okay. Staying in that abundant mindset with our daily lives changing and shifting can be a little bit more sticky at times. I can call it sticky because we get so set in our past patterns or thinking or thoughts that it can pull us back so easily, right? But the more that you stay in that abundance mindset, your thoughts, your words, just how you're holding yourself, how you're carrying yourself, how the plans that you're making for the future, all of it is going to be attached to your mindset. But the problem with sometimes that we find is that those patterns, that's why energy clearing the patterns and the things from past lifetimes are so pulling us back that we find you find all the time people working with the law of attraction that don't work with energy. They're just working with their affirmations all the time and their journaling, but they're not clearing out those negative beliefs, patterns, and programming. What we find is that they have relapses often, right? But when you clear out those, it's like writing over a full like a full tape or a DVD, CD, right? You got to clear it off first before you put the new stuff in. I mean, it is possible to write over, but it's just not as good of outcome, right? So I like to clear out first and then install the new, fresh beliefs, patterns, programming that keep me in that positive abundance mindset. And what that does is it gets me excited to move forward, excited to build bigger, better things, excited to dream bigger. And I don't just stop at like, well, this is what I want to create. I take those steps forward. Whether that is when we were looking for property, looking around. I mean, before we were even ready to look for property to build our house, my husband's like, why are we looking now when we're not ready to buy? I said, hey, we're ready to buy when we say we're ready to buy. So we're going to start looking to get excited and see what's out there. That was the spark. Okay. Like if you're thinking you want a new house in the future, the first thing I would say to you is to start looking at magazines, tearing out pictures, building that, right? Stepping forward, looking on Willow, looking at wherever you're seeing this and really start dreaming about, okay, this is what I want. This is where I'm at. And then the universe starts conspiring for you to bring that to you. But it starts with the abundance mindset. You can have whatever you want. All right. And the beauty of this work, again, is that when you work on one area, everything else prospers. Everything else just starts to expand. And watch out, because this is where be careful what you wish for. Okay. It's so fun. I love this. All right. So, does any of you want me to draw a card for you? I would love to draw a card for you. Let's see your names. If you would like me to draw a card, go ahead and say, hi, Blanca. Nice to see you here. You're so wonderful. All right. I see some names here with some comments without names. So if any of you would like a card, Misty, if you are in the energetic business blueprint, I will post that in the comments when I get off the call here, or maybe my assistant's on here. I'm not sure if she's on right now, but you'll see a link to that. If you're in the group Shining Mentors Successful Entrepreneurs, you can get it there. I see that you were watching from LinkedIn, so I can get you that link, and you can get the workbook in there as well as the trainings. Okay. Okay. Who would like a card? Okay. I see a please for me, but I'm not seeing. Okay. Vicky, would you like a card? Let's see here. Maybe I could see it better if I go to the actual group. All right, let me see if I can find these. You guys are so much fun. I love doing the drawings because the card drawings, because it really hooks up to each one of you like so individually. Okay, let's see if we can see this. All right, Rose, you'd like a card. Yes, thank you. I love them. Oh yeah, Canada is a little bit Hi, and for shipping, for sure. I know it's almost as much as the card. I give a deck of cards to everybody that joins my aligned and limitless entrepreneur program, and I send out a deck of these to each one of them. And I had to send us some to Canada, so yeah, it can be a little pricey, but they're so worth it. All right, so Rose, let's go ahead and draw you a card. All right, so just think about what it is that you want for guidance this week. Okay, here it is. Commitment. So what we're seeing here is commitment. Okay. So I want you to think this. I'm all in. I dedicate myself to creating my dream business. So first you have to decide, right? Decide that you are going to make this dream business come true and you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And that's where perseverance and consistency and really mastering your skills and mastering how you get them out there is really important. And you have to be all in. All right. That's where this is. And I want you to dedicate yourself to that this week. Really focus on what actions that you can take to dedicate yourself to really being all in. Maybe it's investing in mentoring and learning really what it takes to be guided into creating that business that you want. You don't need to do it by yourself. You don't need to do it by yourself. Just remember that. All right, let's see who else is here. I wonder if I have people coming from my personal profile here. Not seeing that. Let's go back to StreamYard. Okay, so there's a couple Facebook viewers that I'm not seeing who you are. It says, please for me, just say your name first. Vicky, Vicana? I'll draw one for you. So just go ahead and hold this. Oh my gosh. Just hold this and really feel into what it is and the kind of guidance that you need for this week. It can be for your business. It can be for your life. Everything's really connected. Okay, here it is. And if anyone else is listening right now and they feel like, ooh, this card, I'm getting buzzy with whoever she's drawing for right now, that means that card is for you too, even if you're listening to the replay. Ooh, I love this one too. I always say this. Ooh, team, your team. Okay, so the divine, your guides, angels, and the universe are here to support you. They are here to support you. Never forget that. I should have added ancestors in here too. But your whole team, you have all the support that you need. You just need to ask and be open to following that guidance, okay? Really important, and I love that. All right, hope that helps. And then I see this Jaspreet. Hope I said that name right. Yeah, let's get you a card. What is it that you want to hear? And then we'll do you, Andrea. Yeah. Okay. Jaspreet, just focus. What guidance do you need? Ooh, manifest. Okay. Be open to receive. You can manifest anything that you want. All right. Being open to receive is probably one of the first things I have people start with. If you're not open to receiving, you're locking yourself away from all the good. So manifest. You want to be open to receive. And so sometimes we get stuck in this lifetimes. Like I noticed this with my family, was that they were stuck in this feeling like they needed to stay within a specific class or they didn't want to be better than their relatives, or they didn't want to, they weren't open to receiving even the good things that kept knocking on their door because they didn't feel like it was right to be doing that. So when I was born and I started growing up, I was always the black sheep. And I decided that I wasn't going to be that way and I wasn't going to let my kids live that way either. And so what happened was I changed everything by doing this work, being open to receiving, deciding to make the shifts, and knowing that the work that I do on myself is also clearing it in my children. So that was a game changer. It was huge. And so even if I I have to say honestly, at one point, I hadn't noticed a difference in my health when I was working on health issues. I hadn't noticed a change except for emotionally, I felt different. I felt like I feel better. In fact, a little story is I remember when I was in the parking lot, the day that things changed, I said, I feel so good. I'm still in pain. And I remember saying a prayer to God. I said, God, I know that I've been working on my health and getting rid of this pain. But at this point, if I can just feel this good emotionally, I'll keep the pain. So I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to just go for that peace, joy, love and step into that feeling of peace, joy, love. And it doesn't matter how I feel physically. And so I let go of that, expectation of getting rid of that physical pain and just going for that. I want to feel this good. And I think it was within that next day I woke up pain free. And it was like, what? I was like, whoa, and things just got, things I can tell you changed so much after that day. And so when we are open to change and open to making that transformation, that's where magic simply happens. Okay. It's beautiful. Okay, Andrea, let's go ahead. I hope I'm saying that right. I always see that little the highlight over the E. It might just be Andrea. But Andrea is a part of our online limitless program. She is amazing. She's an incredibly gifted healer and she does incredible work. All right, so let's go ahead and pull a card for you. Whoops, I'm gonna start throwing cards here. I'll start like throwing cards out of the screen. You're so welcome, Jaspreet. Okay, so focus, Andrea. Focus, focus, focus. What guidance do you need this week? Yes, again, team. All right. So this is saying open up to your team, open up to that inner guidance. Allow whatever you're working on. I know you're working on your program and creating a new program. So whatever that is, I want you to open up to getting the downloads. Allow the thinking, because a lot of times thinking is not just you thinking, it's the downloads coming in from divine God source universe that are coming in. I want you just to brainstorm those down and stop like trying to make it perfect, like we talked about earlier, and just get it down. All right. It's going to share so much with you. Be prepared for 2 a.m. waking up 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. So you get this. Okay. But open up to your team. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and check here on the other two. See if I can see anything else here. Glendy, so good to see you here. All right, so go ahead and focus on whatever it is, guidance that you want for the beautiful Glendy. All right, what do you need this week? I am pulling up similar cards for the ones that I pulled up for the weekly call. This is you are your brand. There's only one unique you, and get clear in your message and your branding. I know that you're working on some different projects I've seen in the Facebook threads, or not threads, but notifications. I've noticed that you're working on some different things. So just get clear on your messaging. What comes to me right now is who are your people and what are they looking for? So being really clear, and this is a tip for all of you guys, just talk in their language. So talk in your people's language on what they would say. What would they really want? What are they craving? And a lot of times what happens is us as spiritual entrepreneurs or spiritual business owners is we go so far into we want to feel peace, joy, love, which we all want to feel that, right? But if you are scrolling through notifications and you notice somebody's like, hey, get my guide on to more peace, joy, and love, would you give your email for that? Most likely you wouldn't. Most likely you'd be looking at something really juicy. Like if you're like looking to, like if you're a finance person, like one of my clients is an investment person. She helps people build their finances for retirement and on all sorts of good things. She'd be like, she's totally energy, right? She would be asking, but she would be like, how can you attract your 100K portfolio while still feeling in alignment? Get my guide, or something like that. So you want to pull in the thing that they're like, oh, I really want that. You know what I mean? Something that's really going to make them stop in their track so that they can get so that they'll get that and you'll be able to add them to your list. And then hopefully eventually they become a client, right? Beautiful. All right, let's see if anybody else is here. Let me go back to StreamYard. All right, Crystal. Let's go ahead and draw for you, Crystal. Good to see you here. All right. Go ahead and focus on what you want in guidance this week. All right. I love that name, Crystal. I love crystals. All right. Focus, intention, guidance. Crystal, there is a 17 generation back belief around deservability. I don't know what that's about, but you might want to look a little deeper in that. I don't know if you have my quantum key method, but you can place that as your intention and clear that out. But that just threw out at me. So here I am giving it to you. Hope that's okay. All right. So connection. You guys, how can we keep drawing the same cards? This is no joke. I'm not kidding. We drew these cards, the same cards that I drew for the week. So this is really powerful. This means pay attention. Okay. All of you. So connection, network and collaborate, create strong connections. These will take you far. So Crystal, make sure that you are reaching out to people, DM people, and always come when you're making connection. This is for all of you. I always look at it from like, don't look at people as being clients. Look at them with curiosity. Like, who is this person? Is it going to be somebody that's, like I said, going to be a guest on my podcast or a guest in my group? Or are they just going to be a friend? They could be a potential client, but I always reach out with that, not knowing where it could bring or take me. Okay. And that will help you not feel gross with reaching out. Like if you're like, oh, I want a new client, then you're going to feel you-y, and we don't want that. And like I said, we never know where these connections are going to bring us. Okay. Awesome, everyone. You're so awesome. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm going to post the link in the comments here pretty soon. After I get off here, I'll go ahead and post that in the comments for you, okay? And you guys have a great rest of the week. And just really let go of the perfectionism. Again, like we talked about earlier, let it go. Step into that imperfect action. Imperfection is beauty. The beauty is in the imperfection. There is no perfectionism. Nothing's perfect. Okay. So just step into that. Claim it, own it. You are worth it. All right, everyone. Take care. Bye.